What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about how Japanese people use a keyboard. So, from what I understand, in Japan, you write using a lot of different symbols. And from what I can see, there are a lot more Japanese symbols than there are keys on a keyboard. Like, you can't possibly have a key for every single symbol that exists, right? So that begs the question, how do people in Japan use a normal keyboard to make all of the different symbols, right? So that is exactly what I'm hoping to learn about today. So let's take a look.
How do you type in Japanese? Well, to type in Japanese, you don't actually need a special keyboard. For example, I just use my US keyboard. And you
Really? So you don't have a special keyboard? Because I was thinking about this. I don't know how many different symbols there are in Japanese language, but I think there's a lot. So either you have a gigantic keyboard or I don't know, some kind of special Japanese method or but from what I see here, he's saying you can actually use a normal keyboard. Or what would be normal for English? So how does that work?
remember that you can write everything in hiragana. Well, typing in Japanese starts with writing everything in hiragana. And each hiragana can be represented by the English alphabet. For example,
What? Really? Oh. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have a lot of questions about this. So, every Japanese character or Japanese symbol can be written with English letters. I didn't know that. Okay. So, wait, does that mean all Japanese people have to be able to use regular English letters? So, Japanese people have to know the entire Japanese alphabet, all the symbols, and you also have to know the English alphabet to use a keyboard. Is that correct? Oh my gosh.
alphabet. For example, if you type A, you get A. If you type KA, you get Ka. And if you type SA, you get Sa.
Oh, wow. Wow. This makes so much more sense to me. this this makes so much more sense. I was like, how do you possibly use a keyboard? You know, a keyboard only has so many keys on it. So you can actually use all the different English letters to make all of the Japanese characters, the Japanese symbols. Wow, this makes a lot of sense. I never knew about this.
And when you type everything in hiragana, you hit the space key and convert it to kanji or katakana. But very often, the first option is not exactly what you want, so you keep hitting the space key until you find the right kanji.
Oh. So, this is, oh my gosh. From what I can understand here, Japanese people have to do a ton of work to type. Like, it is a whole different kind of experience for Japanese people. For Americans, typing English, we just type our letters. Like, the letters directly translate to the words that we're typing. In Japan, you're really looking up all these different symbols and translating to different symbols. Wow, I have a newfound respect for people in Japan. This how fast can you get at this?
And many Japanese words are exactly the same in hiragana, but are actually different in kanji. So it's already kind of complicated to get the right kanji. But things can
Huh.
get even more complicated because it's not always obvious how to divide a Japanese sentence. For
Oh.
example, this sentence can be divided in two ways and they have different meanings. And your computer doesn't know which one you want because it can't read your mind. So when
Oh. Oh, wow. Huh. I do not understand Japanese language. I don't understand Japanese grammar or symbols. But apparently, even if you type the same thing, the spacing can change the meaning of your sentence. So this just makes it even more difficult to type for Japanese people.
when it divides your sentence the wrong way, you will have to delete everything and try with smaller chunks. And you can actually fix it manually, but I don't usually do it because it can get pretty messy quite easily.
Wow.
And sometimes you make a mistake because you are only human. But then you will have to delete everything and start again. So it can
Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I had no idea Japanese people had to do it this way. This is blowing my mind.
be pretty frustrating when you just want to finish your work, go home, and waste your time watching cat videos on YouTube.
Oh wow.
And sometimes you just don't want to use kanji for certain words, so you write everything in hiragana, convert it to kanji, and convert it back to hiragana. I don't know about you, but I find it's pretty redundant.
I don't understand hiragana. I don't understand what kanji is. Maybe in a different video, I'll have to learn more about Japanese language and Japanese writing, because I don't understand a lot of what he's talking about. But what I do understand is this incredible way that Japanese people have to type using like a English letters, English keyboard. Is there such a thing as a Japanese keyboard, or do all Japanese people do it this way?
And sometimes shortcut keys don't work with the Japanese input mode. For example, in my editor, you can press S to split a clip. But if you are using the Japanese input mode, it tries to enter Japanese hiragana, so it doesn't work. And the space key doesn't work either because it tries to enter the Japanese space. So you need to switch back to the English input mode, edit your clips, and switch back to the Japanese input mode to put some Japanese subtitles.
Oh, wow. So basically, there's a lot of. This extends to a lot of different things. Like, if you use certain software or certain programs, you're constantly switching back and forth between the Japanese mode and the English mode, or doing English letter inputs, or trying to do hiragana or kanji, or. This is crazy. This is a whole struggle that Americans have no idea about. Like, I had no idea this is how Japanese people really had to use computers.
You may think it's a small thing, but it's pretty annoying when you're trying to concentrate on your work.
Yeah.
So that's how you type in Japanese, but don't tell this to Japanese people because many of them don't know European languages enough to understand how mendokusai this is. Ignorance is bliss. But things are actually better than it used to be because Google created pretty good typing software.
Oh, so in Japan, this is just normal. It sounds a bit annoying, to be honest. In America, I don't know how much Japanese people understand American English writing. But yeah, we just type letters. There's no translating. There's no going between different symbols and writing, and it's just very streamlined, very straightforward. So this is a shock for me, but Apparently, Google has some options for helping Japanese people type.
Than it used to be because Google created pretty good typing software, Google IME. But in the 90s, most people were using Microsoft IME, which can be described as a piece of so it used to be even harder. But
Oh my gosh, Japanese people have been struggling for years because a lot of this software is made by American companies. So it's not even made for Japanese people in mind, which makes it even worse.
anyway, how about your language? Do you speak any language that is hard to type? Please let me know in the comment section. And if you
Wow. 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 I don't know what to say. This was really eye-opening. This was really interesting. I started thinking about this. I was like, wait a minute. Japan uses like symbols and characters, and how do you type? How do you use a computer? And I couldn't even think of how you would do it. Now I understand, and I understand it's a bit annoying. It's a bit of a struggle. I have a newfound respect for Japanese people and how you have to use computers, basically. Wow. I'm sure in Japan, if you're Japanese, you don't even think about this. You don't even think about this. It's just a normal part of life. But for me, as an American, this sounds a little crazy. Wow. Wow. I enjoyed this, though. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on typing in Japanese. Especially if you're Japanese, do you think it's annoying? Do you think it's hard? Is it just normal for you now? Maybe you don't think about this at all. That'd be really cool to hear about in the comments. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Japan and learning about Japanese culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.